This is round 2, 8th grade. Until someone tells me otherwise. And are we ready? Boaters, take your marks. Get set, row! 9th grade, you should be on the pier. Your rotation starts next.
Even start here for the rowers. Both are very coordinated.
Neck and neck.
Using an opposite rowing strategy. That's the way to go to keep the steering straight.
Carissa, give some direction to your team. Be the scholar that you are.
We've got a big lead opened up here. Thea's boat has taken a commanding lead coming down the stretch.
Nick Jonas, Ksipnisa, and help the boat out. That's not going anywhere.
But you know, I would be a bit worried. I don't think it's over yet. You know, we have all seen Rudy.
It doesn't matter if your armpits get tan. Let's go. Sit up.
Nicholas is in denial about me and him.
And that's it for this one, folks.
Now that the race is over, Chris's team is rowing fast. Too bad it wasn't 5 minutes ago.
It's just a shame. They had such a great start, just couldn't negotiate the curve. That buoy, always troublesome.
Lee, do you think if the buoy was square instead of circular, that would change the outcome?
That's how they do it in the southern hemisphere. Makes for a faster race. Oh, now they're actually rowing towards shore.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you will look to the south, you'll see it's a bird, it's a plane, it's Avro on a paddle boat. Katie Bethos, could you wave your arm up in the air with some kind of sword or fencing device? Or she's an orchestra conductor, we're not quite sure.
That's the band out there that you hear through the speaker.
Just kidding. Felicia. What? No, his nose is in it. Look.
So we have Counselor Anastasia, otherwise known as Anas, in one boat. And who is in our other boat? Bobu Marcatos.
We've got a barn burner here. These two have competed many times before and are bitter rivals.
Bella Caroli, I think, trained Anas's boat.
Absolutely. They've been working in Romania
with Sean Johnson and Olga Ritskaya.
Now, last year's games, they set the lake record for time to the buoy, but then both capsized. Quite unfortunate.
Avro, can you wave your hand so everyone can see you? And we've got 2 out of the 3 triplets on board, along with Katie Bethai.
I think they've come in to help manage the wayward start of many of the boats. We've had some problems.
We're ready. Okay, Dean says we're ready. Boaters, on your marks, get set, row!
Let's see if who's got the coordination, strength, and stamina to complete the longest race in all of the Great Lakes.
Row, row, row.
Boy, you know, Bobby's team is really taking a big leap. I think that's the injections of ego that he put into all of them.
Amber, out of all the paddle boats, why did you check out the disco sparkly one?
Look out. They're fairly close, folks.
And we have a short lead by
quite a bit of contact between these boats, like NASCAR out there. Now that is allowed under the rules.
And now's his team pulling ahead.
Now's his team's first to the buoy, but can they make the wide turn? Team Bobby's looking to throw them off course. Ooh, and they just missed. Now they're coming around. They're going to have to take a wider turn. They're going to have to really pick up the speed there, Kristen.
Well, that was a really aggressive move right there by
Maybe if Bobby had a Wii controller, he could control his boat better.
And that's his boat. You know, that was a very, very risky move, that cutoff. You know, I don't think I've seen a move that risky since 1902.
And Nasa's team's going to need to cut in the inside corner. Cut it, cut, kopsha.
They've switched to hand steering. Here's the turn. This actually puts them on fairly even ground as Nasa's boat has to come in quite a distance. They've reached out to the 25-foot depth mark. Here they come.
Bobby's team straightaway, pulling on down the straightaway.
They need some momentum though if they're going to catch up.
Folks, go ahead and cheer on your favorite boat.
It's days like this where I think back to the origins of the sport. For those of you that don't know out there, canoe actually comes from the Nordic ka noit, which means ka means with, and noit, great frustration. Ka noit, canoe, with great frustration.
Thank you for that update. Always good to hear the historical origins of the sport. Here comes Team Anas.
Anas with some unprecedented leadership skills.
She's got them steering into the finish. And I think that's it, folks.
Boy, Bobby looks frustrated. that big ego of his, I think, was just deflated a bit. Just a bit.
Folks, that was our fastest time of the day. Hope you enjoyed that one. Now let's follow it up with the fastest disembarking time of the day.
It's good that we have the red paddle boat out there because Katie and Felicia are ferociously protecting the shores.
Now, to me,
Katie with her water gun and Felicia with her foam sword.
it looks like that's an All Saints paddle boat, if you will. Now that Chris Evramopoulos has been indoctrinated through marriage to All Saints.
That red paddle boat represents the Green Lake Coast Guard.
And on that note, let's go ahead and start our second and final round of 9th grade races. Boaters, are you ready? I'm really excited to see Basil and Bobby. Okay, boaters, are you ready? Get set, roll!
And they're up.
Oh, and it would feel that Basil is actually playing dirty. Surprise. Oh, and it appears that Bobby is back in the race. I guess he was able to reinflate that pop tire ego of his and try and take back his honor.
Oh man, there's
Apparently,
the Coast Guard boat.
They are backfiring on him hard though. Lots of splashes on Bobby.
Oh, Gina, this is cute. Wow. I thought it was like a V-neck.
Is that Captain Jack Sparrow and the red sparklet pearl out there? Oh, no, it's just Chris Evramopoulos.
Here they come to the buoy. Both teams using splashing as a diversion tactic. Once again, Bobby's boat fails to make the turn. We've got to get them to steer on the other side. Row on the other side.
Bobby accelerating into the shore. Actually, might be a dangerous situation. You might want to turn pretty quickly, man.
Bobby's team is attempting to sharpen the hull of their boat on the shore to make them go faster.
Interesting strategy.
They've made the turn, though. If they can quickly turn around, they can catch up and get back in the race.
Now, Basil's team is trying to keep things interesting by pausing and doing the Christian thing by letting Bobby's team catch up, so there's more fairness.
They both got to make the turn, though. One of Basil's keepers decided he didn't like the direction he was taking, so he mutinied. Haven't seen that in a long time.
The double cross, he couldn't have practiced it if he tried. That's why live TV, folks, is always the way to go.
We've got some speed now. Both teams on the home stretch. He's got to get through, though. They've got to get past the pier, and it appears they have done that. They're going to have to give it to Bobby's team.
They haven't come in yet.
They've covered enough ground to qualify for a victory, a long-awaited victory. You know, he's been rowing for 16 years now, captaining teams, and it's been long in the making.
All right, give it up for Bobby's team. I believe we're ready to start the 10th grade rotation, which means we're past the halfway point. Never thought we'd get here, folks.